Good morning, everyone. Friends, family members, especially mine, who are spread all over the U.S., different time zones, different weather patterns. It gets kind of funny. So as you are joining me today in this live stream episode of Real Living in Chicagoland, if this is your first time showing up in one of my episodes, bienvenido, welcome to you. As I get my co-host ready, as he's in the green room, he's wrapping up, by the way, I see him working. He's wrapping up a negotiation, selling real estate property. I mean, come on, hey, real estate 24/7. So he's got to do what he's got to do. So yes, I see him still chattering on the phone. I see some hand gestures. So it's getting kind of interesting. So today, I want to lead off with this. The thumbnail that all of you saw before I showed up in my virtual studio. OMG. I made a big old mistake. I thought, and I was thinking backwards. In the thumbnail, I dropped the fact that we were doing this live stream on February 5th. That is today. But I threw down 2025. And do you know why I was thinking that? Probably it's because last year's winter season, we had a total of just 10 inches of the white stuff. This season, we've got 3 times that, 30 plus inches. And I don't know about some of you or all of you, but I am so tired of it. I feel like I'm in the same attire every day for the past 40 days. And I'm just kind of ready for, like, sunshine, higher temps, more seasonal temps. And so if you're with me, people, as you're watching this as a live stream, or if you're watching this on demand as a recording, throw me an emoji, a memoji. Let me know that you agree with me or you think I am full of fill in the blank. Would love to see your comments and engagement here. All right, my co-host, I think, has wrapped up his deal, a negotiation. So let me bring him into the room. Here we go.
Hey, brother.
Hey,
how are you?
Did you wrap up that deal?
Yeah, you know what? I did hear a comment that you said, and boy, I'm glad I left the 9-to-5 world to work 24/7 in real estate.
It's true. Yeah. The business that we're in, Rick, the reality is what we do, how we do it, it's almost nonstop. The clock sometimes never ends, right? Why? Because, sellers need to move a property, buyers need to buy a property. Sometimes it goes fast. Sometimes it's a slow crawl to the next milestone, right?
It is. And not to necessarily put ourselves at the same level of some other professions, like, doctor, surgeon, attorney, whatever. But I mean, we are in the service industry, and like some jobs you do, right? And then some jobs you are.
Yeah.
And when you're in the real estate industry, whether you're a realtor or a lender, you are here to serve people. So this is a need that everybody has, or that everybody in your case would like to have. Most people would like to have, and you just never know when you're going to hear the right conversation going on that you can partake in and help somebody achieve a goal or a dream of theirs.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And by the way, since you said that so realistically, so genuinely, yeah, what you do, what I do, we're not at the same level of a physician, a surgeon, either saving lives or improving the health of a human being. However, I'll say this, we do impact and add value to the human being's life events.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and life overall, housing is a big deal. It's
exactly.
It's 24/7,
Exactly. So to some of the physicians, the surgeons that I know, I'm going to do a shout out to my niece, Dr. Apple, who is a surgeon. And guess what, Rick? She lives in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee at the current time. She practices there. You might have read or saw the news, the weather. They got hit pretty hard with the winter weather we're used to, but for them, it's like, OMG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I learned from her mother, my sister, that she had an operation scheduled a while back, leading up to that critical date. And because of that crazy weather that hit Tennessee, they lost power. The roads were bad because, they don't have the plow trucks and the salt and that kind of stuff that we do. So
they got one.
They have one. Yeah. So my niece, again, Dr. Annie Apple, given her commitment to her profession, just like you and me, brother. Okay. She said, no worries, patient. I'm going to show up on time to do the surgical work. And the reason why she chose to do that, committed to that, is she rented a hotel room within walking distance to the hospital.
Commitment. Yeah.
Commitment. All right. So enough about us, enough about our families. Let's talk about what matters to the audience. The audience who don't yet know us, perhaps. The audience who know us. And I would love to say, kind of love us, okay? I'll take that today.
Especially the moms out there.
Especially the moms out there. And I'm going to come full circle back to moms out there in a second, okay? Yeah. Why don't you lead us into the conversation I'm sure you talk about almost 24/7, 8 times out of 10 calls, and that is Mr. Batista, Senor Batista. What is going on with real estate?
Yeah, well, heck if I know. The real estate market in Chicago this winter has been a very historical, very historically common real estate market for the winter season. And this is something that my wife and I talk about very often. It's like we try to, we love the seasons, and that's one of the reasons why we love Chicago, right? Spring, fall, the transitions. You enjoy the 3 weeks of summer that we get here, but just enjoying those transitional seasons. And winter is a time to hibernate and kind of, sit back and reflect on life and, try and have a better year coming up and all that stuff. Yeah. But usually during the winter in the past, in Chicago, it's been Chicagoland. It's quiet. Right. There's activity going on without a doubt. We still see squirrels jumping around from branch to branch trying to find something, and then some are sleeping for a while. And that's the same thing with sellers and buyers out there. A lot of people don't want to move during not just the holidays because they may or may not celebrate, but they don't want to move during the winter season. So people out there, typically just people that need to sell or need to buy, or really want to buy, I guess. And the last few years, I would say this is probably the first quote unquote real winter we've had in about 5 or 6 years.
That's true.
Like you touched on with the snow. I don't think it snowed any measurable amount in November in at least 4, maybe 5, 6 years. And the market's reflected that, you know.
Yeah.
So the last several Januaries I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen like an uptick in applications and mortgage applications and stuff. Certainly things going under contract. Januaries have been very active, you know, whether it's the new year, new me mindset, but Januaries have been very active. And then things kind of get dormant again in February and parts of March until the weather breaks, you know, and the tulips start popping out of the ground and the people realize, hey, I'm going to move.
Yeah.
So it's been typical for this time of year. It's still been active. You know, we're still seeing even with the quietness of the market, we're still seeing plenty of I don't like to say the word overbidding, but you know, where there's multiple bid situations and people are offering over the asking price. Yeah, because it's such a tight inventory, you know. Talking with a lot of realtors, you know, talking with you and some other lender friends that I have, it's some people describe it as slow, some people describe it as frustrating. You know, it's very few positive words to describe things, especially if you're working with you know, worth buyers.
That's true.
It's just a very frustrating process. So, you know, buyers out there need to be patient. Sellers, if you don't price it right, you need to be patient. Otherwise, if you price it right, you can expect, you know, offers. And shorter market time. But if you don't, you can expect longer market. It's going to be a longer winter for you. But yeah, I mean, things are active. Things are moving. It's taking a little longer. You know, we got to kind of get thaw from all the cold we've had.
Do you see a slow uptick with inventory, or are there more properties coming onto market? Let's snapshot right now this year, you know, so far this year compared to last year, same snapshot. Do you see more inventory?
You know, when you look at the data, you like really need to dive deep into it. Because when you see new listings, it could be a listing that is reactivated.
Oh, yes.
You know, it could be a listing that expired and now it's with a new broker or same broker. It could be something that they canceled and now it's the new year and they want to kind of refresh it. They either took a few weeks off or took the holidays off and put it back on the market. So we definitely seeing more listings coming about because, you know, if somebody gets under contract now, they're probably going to close in March at the earliest, right? In most cases.
True.
So I think, you know, it's a little easier to prepare. You know, you're not going to have to move necessarily in the cold and all that stuff, or at least when it's so cold. But
that's true. That's true. Let me share a visual. I came across this visual aid that really pins and underscores some of what you talked about, some to actually a lot of what you talked about. And when I saw this visual aid, Rick, it kind of surprised me. So here, let me add it to our studio. Here we go. Okay. Take a look at this. And I'll zoom into it.
Yeah.
This visual is showing the fastest growing U.S. counties, the fastest U.S. growing counties here in the across the 50 states. Let me zoom in now.
Yeah.
Do you know where Cook County sits?
Is that the #1 spot?
No, Cook. No. Well, I would love to tell you it's #1 spot. Cook County, Illinois. It's the lucky 7th spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
7's a good number.
So you know where is the #2 spot? Let's start with that. Take a guess.
I'm gonna say somewhere warmer.
Yes, bingo. Let me help you out. Absolutely somewhere warmer, Sunshine State, Miami.
Okay.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
So when I saw this, to my pleasant surprise, I was like, hey, Cook County, woohoo. You know, that's your backyard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, people come. There's a lot of complaining that goes on about Chicago and Cook County, but there's also a lot of love that the city gets. Oh, you know, Chicago's in Cook County, or I won't even say the nickname that some people call it, but but you know, it's an interesting town. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I hear you. I mean, just like you said earlier, you know, our summer is a whopping, what is it? Maybe 3 months or less, depends on the year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why all of us Chicagoans, when spring opens up, when summer hits, we're all doing the mad dash to cram everything possible that we want to do in that short amount of time.
Yeah, which is another time of year when realtors can go on vacation because most other people are on vacation. And, you know, I mean, literally, like, I mean, if you think about it, especially with many people who are moving from home to home, many people have families, right?
Yeah.
And little ones or toddlers and teenagers and all that stuff. And then they tend to be in more activities.
Yeah.
Right. So they're playing sports. So there's a lot of travel sports in the summertime. And that's when they start going on vacation, is when those travel leagues are done. Before they go to school. So, you know, you see a lot of vacationing in July and August. And that's when the market tends to slow down a little bit after the spring rush. So that's why they always talk about the spring market, because there is so much activity, because it's such a, due to weather related factors and family life, or household life, I should say.
Yeah.
It's everything is condensed, you know. Let's get out there before, so we can enjoy the summer. Let's move into the place we want to move into, so we can enjoy the summer and be ready for the fall and holiday season, school season, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how the Chicagoland market is so greatly impacted by the weather, and then the family life, household life is very greatly impacted by the weather as well.
Yeah.
So they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. Now, having said that, as I saw that visual, pleasantly surprised that Cook County, therefore, you know, greater Chicago, let's call it like it is capturing that number 7 spot. I mean, I look at it this way: Chicago has such a diverse industry base, which means, Rick, employment, income opportunities.
Yeah.
And you and I both know, because you heard me say this before as a joke, but there's some realistic truth to it. You know, no job, no income, no loan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you choose to pay cash, okay, good for you. You're a silver spoon baby. You can buy what you want, but that's not the majority of home sellers, buyers, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's now play a game with each other, and we'll hit the tennis or the pickleball back and forth, and to prep us for what this game is all about and our audience, we're going to do the game of did you know that there are sometimes obvious and not so obvious mistakes that sellers make. Let's start with sellers. So Rick, why don't you rattle off the top 2 mistakes that sellers make?
One answer can stem off into many different answers, but not choosing the realtor that's good for their situation.
Oh, stop!
That's the number one.
Stop. Let me paraphrase that.
Okay.
So what I think I'm hearing is not choosing the right realtor, broker, agent for the situation. Let me add a little caveat to that. They're choosing the real estate broker that tells them exactly what they want to hear, as opposed to, drum roll, the reality.
Yeah.
All right. Keep going.
Well, the reality of the market and or the reality of their situation.
Correct.
Right? Because people sell for different reasons.
That's right.
So one thing that I hear very often, and I have a theory of this, is from big franchise companies.
Yeah.
Just shoving it down our throats. Pick somebody in your neighborhood, somebody who knows your area, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's so much more to a realtor than knowing where the closest coffee shops are.
That's true.
And I think they do that because they have so many offices, right? So they want to make sure that they help feed. I get it. You know, want to feed into the local offices and make sure you're keeping the local agents busy.
Right.
But back when I used to manage kitchens, my mentor had told me that the one ingredient always left out of recipes is experience.
Yeah.
And when you are an experienced realtor, absolutely knowing the area does help. It has its role in trying to market the property properly, especially if it's a unique property or unique district or school district or whatever the case may be. But there's so much more when it comes to experience, especially if somebody is in a more unique situation or more challenging situation. An experienced realtor can look at the data from the neighborhood and sprinkle in their experience and market the property properly in order to help their client out in that unique situation that they find themselves in.
All right.
So an experienced realtor, not just of the neighborhood, but overall experience, and especially in what you need to get done and what you need to accomplish is a huge key.
I love how you encapsulated that. So that's the first mistake. What's the second one?
Relying on Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com to on their data alone, right? Because everybody can look at the same data, but again, you need the experience in order to assess the data properly.
Yeah.
So choosing what you believe your house should sell for based on what an algorithm is telling you. I mean, no, Zillow does not go into your house to see what has or hasn't been done in the last 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Redfin, Realtor.com, unless there's an agent coming into your house and looking, or an appraiser, or even if you want to get an appraisal done before you list the property, nobody's going into your home. So they're just rattling off a significant range of what your house should be worth.
Yeah.
Based on similar, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in the neighborhood. Well, is this one updated and yours hasn't been touched since the 70s? It's kind of it's very misleading, those estimates and the estimated amounts of what the property is worth. And I just find it very, very dangerous when we start putting numbers in people's heads. Like a seller calls me up and say, "Hey, this is some information about my property. What do you think it's worth?" Well, I can tell you what similar homes in the neighborhood are selling for, but I really need to see your home in order to it's still going to be a range. I'm not going to give you an exact amount because I'm not an appraiser, but I'm still going to give you a range. And it's going to be a tighter range and a more accurate assessment than what a Zestimate can give you.
Yeah. Let me lean in and share the story with you, because I know Evanston, right? You property manage some properties in Evanston. So rewind in time, Rick. Before I was married, so when I was young, dumb, and single, I owned a condo in Evanston.
Okay.
And after I got married, typical life event, the spouse said, "Good for you. I can transition from living at home with parents and just slip into your cozy condo." You know what cozy means, right?
Yes. Small.
Yes. Yeah. So fast track. After she opened up that conversation, no surprise to you, life event, right? You pop the diamond on the ring, slip that on the finger. Well, guess what happens next? You got to buy a home together. So obviously we did that. So I was at a point in time where we were looking at homes outside of Evanston. Now we were making a move, right, to another suburb, to another neighborhood. And we were pretty serious about that. We were so serious, Rick. We were so serious that we bought. You kind of know this story just a little. I'm filling in the blanks today. We bought a fixer-upper. We bought a fixer-upper from a distressed seller. I knew it. I felt it. So yours truly, being bold and ballsy, I wrote an offer. I took all the risks, dropped as many contingencies as it made sense. Yeah. Which means, I already told you, I owned a condo in Evanston. I didn't even weave into my offer, right, with a distressed seller, a home sale contingency. So you might be thinking, oh, Bill, you're sweating in your boots. And the answer is yes. After that offer was negotiated, accepted, I started sweating in my boots.
Yeah.
And then I pivoted and I decided, gotta sell the condo. I don't want to hang on to it forever.
Yeah.
And also this move we were making wasn't like Evanston to Skokie or Evanston within Evanston. It was Evanston to somewhere else, right? So when I engaged one of your peers to help me sell this cozy condo, I can tell you this great question she asked me before she answered my question of what should I sell it for? The question she asked me, so important, it still registers in my mind today.
Yeah.
And that is, she asked, Bill, before I answer your question of what I recommend you list this nice cozy condo for, the question you need to ask yourself and then share with me is, how fast do you want to sell it?
Yeah.
The number I'm going to give you is going to depend on whether you want to sell it within 30 days, 60, 90, 120 days. At the end of the day, you control that number to a degree. The buyer controls the other half.
Yeah.
Which is why it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So I did answer her question. And to my surprise, OMG, lucky me, I unloaded that condo just in time. And, closed on the home purchase with wife and spouse. It wasn't same day. Thank God. That's kind of stressful, right?
Yeah, that's even more stressful.
Right. That can be more stressful, but it was close enough where the pressure of holding on to two mortgages. Audience members, yes, I'm calling you out when you have to think about that. Sometimes you do. It can be stressful. So you got to have a plan, right? All right. So can I drop the third mistake that sellers make?
Yes.
Because I lived it, right?
Yeah.
You probably did too. All right. The third mistakes that sellers make. I'm calling all of you out watching this as a live stream or as an on-demand recording. If you've never sold real estate, but you're about to, and as you're watching us, you're scratching your head thinking like, I gotta listen in, lean into, get this from me. Yes, this is for you. Price it right. When you price it right, coupled with mistake number one that Rick really told us about, find the experienced right real estate broker agent. It's not about how many coffee shops and all that BS. I mean, come on, there's this thing called Google Maps, people.
Yeah.
All right. So price it right, coupled with the right real estate broker, with a right team of service providers behind you.
Yep.
Guarantee you will sell it quickly. You'll get multiple offers. Why? Because the old cliche does hold true. Every home will sell at the right price.
There's a buyer for every home. Yep.
All right. Let's now move to, let's move to the top 3 mistakes that buyers make. And by the way, let's bring our special guest in. She's going to also give us a reaction. Yes. You don't want to make mistakes, people. It's a thumbs down. All right. Yeah. What's the first mistake you think buyers make?
With as much data that's out there, I would say buyers tend to be more savvy than sellers out there these days.
Yeah.
Because real estate, number one, is all emotions. Right. So sellers have the emotion of whether they've lived in the property or has an investment. It means it's their baby, right? It means something to them.
Yeah.
Buyers, the greatest emotion that they have is I want to live in that property. I can envision myself there, but there's no years and years and years of memories yet, right?
Yeah.
So in that sense, real estate is very much like love. So if a buyer doesn't get their offer accepted, then guess what? They go find love somewhere else.
Yeah.
No matter how broken your heart is. But I think with buyers, with the data that's out there, and especially the news stories out there that says there's a lot of doom and gloom news. I mean, just the reality, and then people predicting what's going to happen, waiting for the market to crash
Oh, yes.
I think is a number one thing that buyers are doing right now. I'm just waiting till the market crashes. I'm going to wait till the rates go to get back into the threes, and it's like you're living in the neighborhood of good luck.
Yeah.
It's well, can the market crash? Sure, a lot of things can happen, but is it going to happen? Right now, it doesn't seem that way.
No,
but we can't predict the future. So you have to make decisions based on what you want to do. Right.
Yeah.
Whether you're a buyer or seller, it's goals, budget, and timeline.
Yeah.
How fast do you want to do it? What are you trying to achieve? And what's your budget? Right?
Yeah.
How much do you have to sell the house for? How much can you afford? And a realtor or lender can tell you, oh, geez, you can afford this much on paper, but how much do you want to pay every single month? Right.
Right.
So making this mistake of just waiting for.
Yeah.
It's too much waiting, and then it never happens, or you kind of lose out on some opportunities.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Let me bring up a visual aid to aid us in the business of real estate as we talk about and highlight mistakes that other people made. Mm-hmm. That all of you watching us try to avoid them. Right, here it goes. Take a look at this. It's a little visual aid that shows how the ownership of real estate has really changed from 1991 fast forward to 2025.
Yep.
The largest segment of owners, real estate property owners, whether they own a property to live in, investment property, second home, Airbnb, whatever you want to call it, is baby boomers. Mm-hmm. No surprise to you, right? The next largest segment are Gen Xers. And then the smallest right now is millennials. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So back to our conversation about, mistakes that buyers make that you absolutely want to avoid. I'm going to speak to this. You're going to chuckle, you're going to laugh, but you'll understand what I'm saying. Buyers, the mistake you absolutely want to avoid is not stopping. It's not stopping at just getting qualified for financing unless you're paying cash, right? Mm-hmm. So 1 out of 3 people can and may pay cash. So 2 of you out there of the 3, you're going to have to borrow money. So what I'm trying to say is, what's holding you back from getting qualified? That's a conversation, by the way. That's it. It's just a conversation where you tell me as a mortgage professional what you want to tell me. I hear what I want to hear. I give you my feedback. That's called garbage in, garbage out if you're feeding garbage. The next phase is, and someone like Rick will encourage you as a buyer to do, which is get pre-approved. You know that, I know that. Yeah. So buyers, avoid the mistake of not doing this. This is where you got to put some time and effort into that next step, that process. Mm-hmm. Now, what I am personally saying, in my humble opinion, is your mistake is just stopping there. Go further. Get fully approved so that you're almost buying like with cash. Yeah. And this is where you're pushing all your chips into the center of the table and say, Bill, take me there. Rick, help me write an offer that's so compelling so that I can close, get the keys in 30 days or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I that's the number 2 mistake that I was going to say to that point is work with the right lender, right? Yeah. Sure. As a seller, it's important to work with the right realtor. As a buyer, if you're buying and you have to get a mortgage, then work with the right lender, because we're working on with a mutual client right now that the lender that they were working with asked them a few questions, more like, what do you like to do on Saturdays? And then they said, oh, you're pre-qualified for this amount. And they even submitted a pre-approval letter to me. And after talking with and I'm not the lender, but talking with the buyer some more, things weren't adding up. Yeah. And I was able to connect them with you and going through the process up front. It's kind of like I always use the analogy of like painting a room, right? Yeah. Some people don't always have to, but if you have that much experience, but if you're painting a room and you're a novice, You tape everything off. You tape the windows. You tape the trim. It's preparation, right? It's preparation. But once you taped everything off, you get the rollers out. You get the brushes. You can paint the room a lot more quickly.
Yeah.
So to that point, once you are essentially fully approved, all you got to do is pick the property, get through the attorney inspection period, and get the appraisal.
That's right.
And you're getting ready to hear the magic acronym CTC, clear to close.
Yes.
And it could be as fast as three weeks. Some lenders can get it done in 3 weeks, and otherwise 30 days is more typical.
Yeah.
And I applaud the lenders for the lending industry for doing this, because we have to continuously find ways to compete with cash buyers.
Yeah.
Which leads me, this is not a mistake that buyers have. Well, this is a mistake that people who are waiting and waiting and waiting, this is a long-term mistake.
Yeah.
And people, and even like financial gurus will say that, don't buy real estate. You spend, there's so much money in turning over real estate, and the length of your residency there or your ownership. You have to put a new roof in, you got to do this, you got to do that. So you're not making as much. Yeah. But to the graph that you showed, why are baby boomers silent generation? It makes sense, right? 80 plus. Yeah. Let's face it. Not to be crude, but a lot of people are passing away.
That's right.
There's going to be less and less of the silent generation. Boomers, thanks to modern medicine and medication, that keep us alive longer.
Right.
Whether we have quality of life, that's a different story. But at least as long as we can pay the mortgage, it's good to go. But what they have is they're building equity, right? Yeah. So it's not everybody's going to get into a property to flip it. It's as the saying goes, it's not timing the market, but timing the market.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that you put up a baby boomer or a Gen Xer who has had a property versus one who's been renting. Guess which one's probably going to be buying a house cash? Not necessarily because they have cash in the bank, but because they have cash coming out of the equity of the sale. So yeah, to me, that's the proof in the pudding. You can continue paying less monthly rent than you can a mortgage, but home ownership provides opportunities. It's basically like a savings account.
Yeah, it is.
It provides more opportunities in the future. Maybe not now. It provides benefits now. Yeah. There's clearly benefits to home ownership than renting, and a lot of it is individual choices, but it provides a long-term positive impact in most cases for most people.
Yep. And as I wrap up, some of you have heard me drop this, share this, whether it be in one of my live streams or in a live conversation that I've had with you or one of your clients. And that is, whether you are renting or you own, you're paying somebody's mortgage, might as well be your own. So as I wrap up, for those of you who have shared your time with us, watching this as a live stream or watching this on demand, and if you're thinking, hey, I really kind of appreciated this banter, and today we went a little long because there's so many mistakes. We could only identify 3 just to keep it focused.
Can't rush.
If you are looking for the right team to help you in your journey of real estate, whether you are selling or buying, if you're looking for the right team, you haven't found that right team, real simple. All you need to do today is simply scan the QR codes that you see here. Rick can certainly lead off with a conversation with you, and where necessary, if I need to be a part of that conversation and the team with you as well, I'll certainly lean in, get on the field, and using professional football metaphor, together, because real estate is a team sport, we will cradle you as the ball, so that we move first and 10, and then boom, touchdown, so that you can score your outcome. So Music Posse, play us out. Rick, thank you for sharing a nice longer banter today. We sometimes need to do that. So audience members, Music Posse, have a great day. Here we go.